I crazy? We don't use that word in here.
Fans of The Matrix have been waiting for this moment for a long time. The next chapter in the story of Neo, Trinity, and Morpheus is nearly here, and Warner Brothers has released a trailer to prove it. It's an action-packed first look at Resurrections, a sequel that appears to push the franchise in new ways and brings a slew of new secrets to The Matrix's already complicated history, all set to Jefferson Airplane's White Rabbit. For a long time, the idea of a fourth Matrix film seemed far-fetched, yet here we are, and the Matrix 4 teaser is chock full of delights to explore and dissect. We're probably much more perplexed about the Matrix 4 now than we were before the teaser.
You don't know me.
So, let's get right to it and break down what we discovered in our initial glance. The Matrix Resurrections has an even more ominous tone than the original trilogy thanks to the trailer's high-resolution opening scene. Even while it's true that the Matrix Revolution's closing shot is reminiscent of that view from the original Matrix's final scene after the Matrix had rebooted itself, this starting shot represents a current screen life, one that seems to have forgotten the idea of the Matrix. For its first 3 films, the original trilogy relied on simulation theory to explain how enormous forces may imprison mankind in a false world that we wouldn't identify as fictitious. There's a sense that the new movie is aware of the tech industry, as it ramps up the metaverse, where consumers actively choose to spend their life as digital avatars, ignoring warnings from the past. The trailer's first significant visual clue about the mysterious sequel is as follows. At the end of The Matrix Revolutions, which may be a hazy recollection, but we go over everything here. Neo had mediated peace between robots and humans and sacrificed himself for the cause. It's unknown what happened to the one in the end, but The Matrix Resurrections appears to explain it. That appears to be a swarm of bots keeping our hero alive after the revolutions. The trailer begins with Thomas Anderson, Neo played by Keanu Reeves, in therapy with an analyst portrayed by Neil Patrick Harris. Neo is dressed in a John Wick-style outfit, complete with long hair and a beard, implying that it has been a long time since the events of the first Matrix trilogy. An Easter egg is thrown in the mix when a black cat meows on the therapist's desk, which is of course a reference to Neo's black cat déjà vu from the first film. Neo informs the therapist that he has had dreams that weren't just dreams. What follows is a flurry of rapid visuals set to the music of Jefferson Airplane's White Rabbit, a nod to the tattoo Neo was ordered to follow in the first film. Fear not, even if the visuals are a bit hazy. We're here to help you understand it. The entire therapy scene underscores that Neo is still trapped in the Matrix after all this time, unable to recall events from his past but still harboring the nagging feeling that something is wrong with the world. And it's driving him insane. He notices flocks of birds flying in concentric patterns in the sky and everyone around him unable to take their eyes off their phones and tablets as indicators that something is wrong. A clear statement by filmmaker Lana Wachowski about our dependence on the machines of today. The trailer also previews the duo's new powers. It's especially intriguing that they can now generate some kind of energy wave when they touch. Speaking of the hidden faces, we discover in both the trailer and early teaser video that Neo's reflection isn't exactly right. Someone else occasionally looks back at him when he looks in the mirror. The finest view of such a mirror is in the moment where Morpheus delivers Neo the red pill. And, bloody hell, is Hugo Weaving's face plastered onto Keanu's head? If it is, this might imply that some of Smith's code remains inside Neo, lending credence to the theory that Neo is trapped in the Source rather than the Matrix. If you weren't convinced about the reports previously, we now have confirmation. Yahya Abdul-Mateen II will portray Morpheus in The Matrix Resurrections. But there's something strange going on with Morpheus as well. So, what exactly is going on here? The scene's green hue shows that Abdul-Mateen is within the simulation, but based on his reaction to the mirror, he doesn't appear to be aware that he's in the Matrix. Morpheus is genuinely shocked by this unexpected malfunction, which Lawrence Fishburne would have accepted in the original trilogy. So, does this indicate that the film is set before Morpheus was unplugged? Is this film a continuation of Neo and Trinity's narrative, as well as a Morpheus origin story? Maybe this is simply a flashback because we subsequently see Morpheus performing regular Morpheus things, like sparring with Neo. But we haven't addressed the elephant in the room. Why does Morpheus look so different today? despite the fact that this film appears to take place primarily after Revolutions when Morpheus looked a lot like Lawrence Fishburne? Yes, it might be a simple recast, but this is the world that gave birth to an entire legend about program reskins when the Wachowskis were forced to recast the Oracle with Mary Alice when Gloria Foster died during filming the third film. As a result, there will almost certainly be an explanation. This might be related to one of our hypotheses regarding the setting of the film. What if this is a continuation of Neo and Trinity's story but in a different Matrix? The machines have built numerous versions of the simulation, as the architect once informed Neo in The Matrix Reloaded, changing elements as required to better the program and make mankind more obedient. It's an infinite cycle in which the heroes have already attempted to defend Zion from the machines. The sixth Matrix was explored in the Matrix trilogy. We know that each version of the Matrix assigned someone to the position of the One, in order to rectify the program's abnormality, but it wasn't clear whether it was always someone called Neo. If that's the case, it could explain why there's a new Morpheus on the scene. Perhaps the presence of Neo and Trinity from the sixth Matrix in this hypothetical seventh iteration is corrupting things, which is why the machines are attempting to prevent the duo from remembering their history. However, why would the machines have reconnected them in the first place? All of this makes no sense. Is there a deeper meaning to all of this? According to Variety, Jessica Henwick's blue-haired badass is named Bugs, which I think is a tribute to the white rabbit tattoo on her arm, which is also a homage to Alice in Wonderland and the first Matrix film. When Henwick was cast, it was claimed that she would have a significant role in the film, and this appears to be the case. We see her escorting Neo through a portal to the truth, and then we see her rushing around with Morpheus, firing at bad guys and flipping a lot. It's encouraging to see that there will be lots of exciting stunts in this film. The teaser concludes with who many believe to be the film's villain, Jonathan Groff's mystery businessman who welcomes Neo and the fans back to the Matrix. So far, we've heard a few ideas, but our favorites are that Groff is playing a new version of Smith or that he's a new skin for the architect. In any event, he may be the one attempting to keep Neo addicted to the blue pill. In the backdrop, there's what appears to be a DM logo desk plate. Is this another allusion to Deus Ex Machina? Is it some kind of program run company? It's also possible that Groff is playing Deus Ex Machina himself. We also catch glimpses of other characters. There's Priyanka Chopra's character, who is reading Alice in Wonderland when Neo comes in. Warner Brothers has not disclosed her identity, although many speculate that she plays a grown-up version of Sati, the first program built without a purpose who we saw smuggled into the Matrix and brought under the Oracle's control in the Matrix Revolutions. That's a fantastic freakin' theory. Sati has enormous power, according to the Matrix trilogy and the Enter the Matrix computer game, and may even be on the level of the Oracle. The agents are back. What good is a Matrix film if there are no agents? We already know that Daniel Bernhardt will reprise his role as Agent Johnson from Reloaded, but there are a few additional agents in the mix to give Neo, Trinity, Morpheus and pals a run for their money. At one point, even Morpheus appears to be dressed as an agent. There are a couple of additional odd moments in this trailer that are worth mentioning. According to the way Morpheus and Bugs are able to seemingly open portals in the simulation to prevent themselves from landing on the pavement during an action sequence in which they jump out of a building, it appears that Resurrections is going to completely disrupt how the Matrix works, breaking all kinds of rules. It's no longer merely a matter of jumping from one building to the next. Morpheus and his crew appear to be able to move through mirrors at will as well. It's possible that it's their favorite mode of transportation. I'm not sure who is standing next to Bugs when they pass through the mirror and into the restaurant. There's also a pretty interesting inverted hallway that defies gravity's rules. It's par for the course for the Matrix, but it's still cool. As weird as the Matrix's sci-fi gets, this is an action franchise at heart, and the trailer promises the kinds of huge action set pieces you've come to anticipate from these movies. This involves Neo using his thoughts to block bullets and deflect missiles. It appears like the Neo we know and love will be back in the one shape by the third act of this film.
That's all we discovered in this new awesome trailer. Please let us know if we missed anything in the comments section below. The Matrix Resurrections hits theaters and HBO Max on December 22. Like you, we sure can't wait to feast our eyes on this action-packed sequel. Hit the subscribe button and that notification bell icon if you like this type of content. From all of us, your Trailer Flicks. Goodbye.